Hi everyone, Letty here. I have a craft with me today where we're going to make the 6-count card set that I had previously shown. We're going to use one sheet of 12 by 12 paper. I'll also give you a little bit of packaging tips. So welcome back everyone. I have a project where we're going to do this 6-count card set. I had done this on a previous video and I know somebody had asked me about the dimensions, so I figured I would just show you. I had previously purchased these papers from cheapscrapbookstuff.com. It was a big haul that I had done, and so I wanted to go ahead and use them to make some of these 6-count card sets. I do have some branding strips left over and I saved one sheet of this paper, this really pretty sunflower paper. It's double-sided. It's by Card+Envelope, so it's this luscious Card+Envelope paper, really thick. And so I've already made several sets of these just with the same papers that I had purchased, but I wanted to show you how to cut down your paper and we can make these 6-count card sets on camera together today. And so you see here, it has 3 different sentiments. I put 2 of each of the sentiments, so 6 total cards, and all of it's coming from this one sheet of 12 by 12 paper. I also have some envelopes, and then I have a holographic package or sort of sealable envelope that I have where I put my label on the back, and that's how I package them. I did pick these up from Temu. They're 5.5 by 7.8 inches. So those are those holographic bags that I use. And then I've just regular A2 envelopes. I'm going to show you in today's video, we're going to cut it down to get our mats. We're also going to get those little scraps. I did not put anything on the inside of the card, but I'll show you in just a bit how you could put something. It's just basically a regular A2 mat, and then I layered the little scrap right on top and added a sentiment. So again, I have some of these branding strips left over. I am going to save them. I'm going to put them with the additional couple of sheets or few sheets that I purchased from Cheap Scrapbook Stuff from that same collection, so that way I can make some cards later. So for today's project, I took out 6 A2 size card bases. They're blank on the inside. I have 6 sentiments, 2 of each. These are coming from the Cute Script stamp set by The Greeting Farm. I had purchased it maybe a year or 2 ago from Not Too Shabby. There are 3. You can see they're very dark because I keep using them over and over. So there's 3 different sentiments that I'm using for this sort of card set. And so let's go ahead and take out our trimmer and cut this one sheet of paper. The first thing I'm going to do is remove the branding strip. Now you see how that has a lot of white? I turn it to the back side because it's a much easier line to see on the back side. So that's one trick, is if you don't have a really clear cut on the front, turn it to the back, because chances are you'll have a better cut on the back side. If not, just cut it down to true 12 by 12. Again, I'm going to save this branding strip because I like those little borders to put in the insides of my other cards. And so if the pattern is directional, make sure that you have your pattern at the very top, towards the top. So make sure it's upright. Okay. We're going to basically cut it down to where we have these little strips that are the same exact width of my card mat. So I'm going to have the top at the top. I'm going to cut it at 4 inches, just like this. So you'll have a 4 by 12. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut the remainder of this paper at 4 inches again. And I'll have 3 sets of 4 by 12 paper. And again, this is double-sided. So then I'm going to turn it on its side and cut it at 5 1/4 twice. And so my final mat is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Again, I'm going to cut it one more time on the long edge. So I'll have 4 by 5 1/4. So I'll cut it at 5 1/4. So I have 2 large mats, and then I have 1 little scrap. So what I'm going to do with this 1 extra scrap, you see how it's the perfect width because we cut it sort of top to bottom. It fits perfectly on that A2 mat. Now I did cut this in half just so I could have a little strip across each of my card bases, but I'm going to show you that in just a second because I'm going to use a smaller trimmer for that, because this trimmer, I really can't cut smaller than 1 inch. But again, not a problem. I'll just bring out a second trimmer in just a second. So again, we have 6 of these A2 size mats and 3 of the scraps that are perfect width to match those same card mats. There is my branding strip. That was my entire sheet of 12 by 12. So now I'm going to take each of these and I'll show you here that they're 1.5 inches wide. You can see there 1.5 inches. So half of that would be 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them in half at 3/4 of an inch, and they'll be 3/4 by 4 inches. I'm going to cut each one the exact same way. And notice that I'm putting the 2 strips with the coordinating mats because I want those widths of the mat and the strips to be exactly the same. So I have my card bases here. Basically what I'm going to do is take a mat, put it on the front of my card, and then I'm going to take my little strip, put it right on the front of my card towards the bottom, about 1 inch up from the bottom. Then I'm going to add my sentiment. Now with this, you actually could also get that little strip and put it on the inside. I am using it on the outside of my card today. So I'm going to glue down my A2 mat right to the front of the card, just like this. And then again, I'm going to glue my little strip. Now, the one thing, and I'll show you here, because it's double-sided, you could always put that same pattern paper on the inside if you wanted to put something on the inside of your card. You still could make it a cute little note card just by having that sentiment on the outside. I am going to go ahead and add that strip to the outside of my card, just like this. And then I'm going to finish it off with my sentiment. Now, one thing I also want to give you as a tip is when you're aligning these, because these are a set, we want them to look pretty much exactly the same. So what I'm going to do is sort of pair them up, and I apologize, I kind of went off camera there, but you're going to put them side by side and then layer, like go ahead and put your strip right over your second mat. And you can just continue to repeat that same pattern, and that way you're basically putting them in the same exact positioning because you just put them side by side. I'll glue on my sentiment, and that is my finished card. So you'll just want to repeat the same exact process of assembling with all the rest of them, just like that. So again, this was a 6-count card set. I have 2 of each of the 3 sentiments that I had picked out from my little stamp set there. So I got 3 sentiments, 2 of each, so 6 total cards. This was, again, the Fall Fun collection by Card+Envelope I picked up at Cheap Scrapbook Stuff. I have my Temu bags with my little label that I had printed and added to the back of my bag. What I'll do is I'll have my 6 envelopes right on the inside of my packaging. I'm going to add the 6 cards that are finished right to the inside of this package. And then I will just go ahead and zipper it up. And these are just self-seal. And it's pretty flat. I feel like it's really contained, and that will make our 6-count card set. Now, you could always use the same exact sentiment on all 6 cards. I just wanted to mix it up because I had that stamp set that had those really great sentiments. You see here, that's the second sunflower pattern that I had purchased. So I got 6 total sheets. I got 6 card sets. I do have my branding strips. Again, I'm going to put them back in my stash, but otherwise we were able to make these 6-count card sets from one sheet of 12 by 12. Here are the leftovers I had. Again, Fall Fun by Card+Envelope is the collection that I'm using today. And again, that one sheet of 12 by 12 really goes a long way. Thanks so much for visiting, everyone. I hope you got a little bit of inspiration to pull out your fall items. Happy crafting.